So today is going to be completely different. This is my favorite setup when I was shooting autofocus cameras. And I want to do two things here. I want to use a cheap camera. You know, the amazing thing about this camera, which is the Nikon Z50, a crop sensor 20 megapixel camera, and the lens cost less than my hand grip and thumb grip from my Leica. No kidding. It's used, obviously, but it was less money than just my grip and thumb grip for the Leica M11. But today we're going to shoot the way I love to shoot, which is the remote on the camera and head-to-health flash. This is it. The whole shoot is going to be done like this. You know, I just don't want you to limit yourself to, oh, I have to have this camera and this lens because they're telling you you have to have this camera and this lens to create great photos or to have fun and shoot and or to learn, literally. You know, this is a plastic lens, this Nikon 28. I mean, it's just pure plastic. Even the mount is plastic. And the tiny little element up front there. You know, would I recommend this camera? Absolutely. I think it's a great little camera. It's tiny, small, like I don't know, it does a great job. I wouldn't recommend the lens. I'd always say, buy good lenses. Your bodies will change throughout the years, but your lenses you can have forever. Now that we're, you know, from F mount to Z mount, obviously, on the Nikon, and same thing with Canon, you know, going from the EF to the R mount. But anyway, so this is going to be the shoot today. I just want to show you, just have fun, you know, practice. You know, not all these photos are going to be good. I'm going to screw up on some of them. But this here, you're going to be surprised. You can get some really cool images. And there's not a lot of equipment. And I'm using Profoto, obviously, but you can use any, like the Godox V1 with their remote would be fantastic. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to give you the same output, same look at the end. And 20 megapixel on a crop sensor. You know, no, I'm not going to get that creamy bokeh. I'm sorry. But I'm going to get great shots. So let's have fun today. Let's experiment. And we'll go from there. Anyway, enjoy the shoot. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks. So I thought I'd do a really quick one today with this, you know, handheld flash. And at the end, we'll just throw it in one of those small soft boxes. But this run and gun kind of thing with a 20 megapixel crop sensored camera. And literally, it's a plastic lens. It's a 45 millimeter 2.8 plastic lens for this camera, which is actually pretty nice. You know, would I recommend getting a plastic lens? You know, probably not. But if you're just starting out and want to practice and just need to have fun, this is a great little setup. And the quality of the images are great. Now, you know, the only time I can tell a big quality difference, you know, other than printing big, obviously, is, you know, retouching and, you know, editing images. Believe it or not, I think it's so much easier to edit images with larger files. It just makes life so much easier with larger files when I'm editing. Of course, it's just my opinion. You know, a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, it's easier to touch up blemishes and so forth when it's low resolution. And that's true. But if you want that clean, solid look, you know, a larger file is easier to work with for you know, really tight editing, if you would. But you know, this is literally just a handheld flash. And like I said in the beginning, you know, you can pick up any flash. It doesn't have to be a Profoto. You can pick up any speed light. It doesn't have to be a round head. It could be a square head. You know, if you just get a remote, I think the Godox remotes are like $40, $50 brand new. Used, you can get them for $20 on eBay, and a good strobe. The only thing I would say with the strobes, with the speed lights, is I do like the rechargeable inserted batteries versus AA's. Because, man, they go forever. You can just shoot and shoot and shoot with those. I remember when I got my first rechargeable Godox speed light. Oh, by the way, I'm switching to the kit lens, that little, I don't know, it's a 16 to 50 or something. It's a really tiny little plastic lens. That one, again, is all plastic, has a plastic mount. But, you know, these next couple were shot with that lens. You know, the whole point in this is, you know, I know everybody tells you you have to buy this camera and that camera and this lens and that lens, but you can get really nice images. I know these things aren't the best images in the world, but they're great images. And, you know, when I gave them to the model, she loved them. You know, they're just fun images for their Instagram and Facebook and so forth. So don't get too stressed out. Like, and that's the other thing. If you're not ever going to print large, or you're not going to go professional, full on professional, you just want to have fun with photography. You know, 20 megapixel crop sensor, it's fantastic. That's like the Fuji X-T3. I loved that camera so much, and the X Pro 3 I love. But the X-T3, like when I got it and I got some lenses, I'm like, oh my god, I love this thing. I want to go to the X-T4 because it has the in-body image stabilization, which I never use anyway. But you know, you always want that next best thing. And then I remember when I got that camera, for some reason I hated it. I didn't know what it was. I just didn't like it, and it was because it was thicker. You know, then I went to the X Pro 3, and I love that. But you know, the X-T5 that they have out now, I think that's the greatest thing they did, is made it thinner and you know, concentrated on photography again. Now, I put this little scoop on here, and I'm turning it away from the model, so I'm just getting a hint of light on her, you know, versus the full, because I wanted to bring out more of the purple. And I did bring out the purple, but not as much as I wanted to. You can just see a hint of it. Anyway, getting back to the shoot. You know, okay, so we're switching over to that little softbox. Like I said, you can use the Angler one, which is $100 or something like that. I do love the grid on this. You know, and I'm going to show you like direct face on. She's like right against the backdrop. You know, because it's direct on, it's going to hide most of the shadows. It gives a really nice look. You know, you get the shadowing underneath the chin, underneath the nose a little bit. Now I have it off to the side, just, you know, swishing past her a little bit, and I get that side light, and I mean, it almost looks like two lights, but it's just one light. Anyway, I wanted to share this shoot because you can do this with a cheap camera, one light, one speed light, and one cheap remote, and you can get great images. But again, spend your money on the lenses. You know, even if you do get like the Z50 or something like that. I think I got this thing for like $500 on eBay, which is, that's outrageously cheap for a camera that's actually this good. You know, is it the fastest focusing camera in the world? No, but I mean, you can use this day in and day out and not miss focus. I think out of all the images I shot today with this girl, I had one image that was out of focus, like literally just one. Obviously, it's not sports. She's not moving around fast or anything, but still, you know, it just didn't miss focus. It, you know, focused on her eye every single time. I didn't have to pay attention to it. I just shot and had fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the shoot today. I'm going to do one last studio shot, like a beauty shot, to show you can do beauty shots with just this one speed light, a little tiny softbox, and a cheap camera, and it came out beautiful. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them below, and thanks for watching again.